Yeah.
What's up, Wes?
What's up?
How's it going, Coach? All right, last up today.
Doing great. How about y'all?
Coach Goodwin, go ahead with questions.
So Nick says you remind him of Dick LeBeau.
Holy smokes.
What's your thoughts on? I mean, that's pretty high praise.
Well, hopefully I can last in this profession about 70 years like him. But I consider him one of the greatest defensive minds. Obviously, invented fire zones and all the great defenses that he's coached. So hopefully I live up to that one day. So
how much of an influence is what he did in your defense, do you think?
Yeah, for sure. At Arizona, we actually ran some of their concepts because BA and a bunch of those guys came from the Steelers. So we implemented a lot of that stuff when I was at Arizona. So obviously I've kept a lot of those concepts in my back pocket as well. So we'll see how it influences this year as well.
Coach, what are some of your biggest takeaways from this spring?
Yeah, I feel like every day we got better and better and better. You know, that's the thing. You want to keep a upward trend as you go. And I feel like no days, we didn't take any steps back on any days. So every day we got better and better. Our technique and fundamentals improved. You know, the basics and fundamentals, mental errors were down. We tackled really well. So I feel like we took a step forward every day, which is happy to see.
Terminology-wise, you're probably in the season, the same terminology you guys had at the beginning of the season. Is it going to change this year from your own?
No, I would say like 75-80% is the same. You know, you just clean up things. You know, once you've done something for so long, you know, things that are game plan implemented in 2014 get thrown in, and just going back and cleaning up things throughout the years, and you know, we're big on word association, grouping things into families, so just kind of cleaning up terminology and making it fluid and simple.
In the past, Coach Phil was famous for getting that last minute call in, you know, real late as possible.
Yeah, definitely.
And I think one time Ohio State, we kind of got you guys on that, but with you guys doing it, still try to make that last minute adjustment? Is it just something?
Yeah, to me that's a feel thing. You know, obviously, you know, you're kind of, you got a feel of how the offense's tempo coming to the line of scrimmage. So, you know, I feel like I would rather just get my guys to call now and get lined up, you know, per se, and put them in a base call where they can get their eyes lined up, get lined up, play fast, play physical, and play aggressive. Is my mindset.
Coach losing Skowski from last season, such a coach on the field for you. Who's going to be that coach on the field for you this season?
Yeah, I feel like there's a lot of guys that can step into that role. Not necessarily a guy that's been there for 6 years, you know, but all those guys are great leaders. They process things really fast. They have a great understanding of what's going on around them. So I feel like all those guys in that linebacker group have the ability to take that next step. And so it'd be really cool to see who that guy continues to develop into. But all those guys have that ability. They just need to continue to grow their confidence and get that opportunity.
Coach, a group like the guys you got now, Simpson, Trotter, that athletic and so able to cover some space in that position.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not sure we've had a group of linebackers as athletic and fast as we potentially have this year in a long time. You know, all those guys have slimmed down some in the off season. You know, it's a space game, being able to tackle and run in space and get out on the perimeter. You know, those guys have done a great job in the offseason of putting themselves in position to be able to play at a high level this offseason or this fall.
Coach Goodwin, can you describe to me how a baseball manager from Mississippi State makes his way to being the defensive coordinator at Clemson?
So, God's blessing for sure. You know, a lot of hard work, just putting your nose to the, you know, putting your nose down and working hard, you know, soaking up all the knowledge that you can, relationships, you know, just building great credibility and doing things that are above and beyond what you're asked to do, are a couple of things that come to mind. But it's been an amazing ride for sure. A lot of fun. Met a lot of great people along the way, and it's been quite a journey. And hopefully it continues for a long, long time.
Does anyone enter Mike maybe with an edge on the others at the start of going to camp? Or I know you're just kind of like 2 or 3 guys right there.
No, I mean, hopefully early on, you know, going into the scrimmages and stuff, maybe one guy pull ahead of the other, but they'll all get opportunities to earn that starting role going in.
And then the 2 freshmen, three, sorry.
Yeah, Woodaz, TJ, and Kobe.
You know where we'll start out linebacker?
Yeah, Kobe and Wade, they'll be at the will. TJ, we're going to stack him in the Mike spot.
And have you heard any return? I know you haven't seen them or been able to work with them yet, but any returns on them so far?
Yeah, you know, everything that you hear from the summer workouts has been nothing but positive, and we've been having some meetings with them as well, and we'll have some opportunities with the new rule changes to get out on the field, hopefully in a week or two, and see how those guys stack up.
Just from running away from the behind the scenes guy to front and center guy now, just what have the last few months been like, just being out in town like you are, they say Midwest, like what has it been like being able to front and center?
Yeah, it's been awesome. You know, I'm like Nick. I'm from a small town where you speak to everybody and, hey, how you doing in the grocery store. You know, I love meeting new people and finding out your story. You know, where you're from, your family, so forth and so on. Connecting dots. You know, at the end of the day, when you get out in it, it's a small world. Whether you're in Hawaii and you meet someone who coached some Scott Pagano, or you know, those sort of things. You know, you get out in the world, it's a small world, so that's really cool to me, just interacting with people on a daily basis.
What has it meant to you? I mean, I think Mike Jones, even at SEC Media Day the other day, was saying, I have faith in Wes. I believe in Wes. Like the players, obviously, behind the scenes knew what you were able to do, but
Yeah.
having them talk about you and having that faith in you, was it meant to hear those things?
Yeah, it just it's affirmation that the short time that I've been in the coordinator role, that obviously I'm doing, you know, things in a positive way and having a positive influence on them, and just the buy-in in the locker room's been incredible. And at the end of the day, that's what matters most.
As we get ready for the season, more excitement for you, more pressure? What do you feel?
Yeah, excitement. You know, sitting on the beach on vacation, I'm ready to get back, get to work. You know, there's only one first time, so obviously this being the first year being the coordinator, you know, a lot of excitement, waking up at 4 a.m., just a lot of things running through your mind and stuff, just all that excitement building, ready to get going.
Speaking of this being your first year as coordinator, how much has working with under a guy like Rick Venables for so many years helped prepare you to fill this role?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's been tremendous. Obviously, working with a guy for 7 years who's probably one of the greatest coordinators in college football, and just soaking up all that knowledge on a daily basis. And, you know, there's 80% of, you know, you learn what works for you, and you take things from other guys that you've worked with along the way, you know, work with some other successful coordinators at other stops and stuff. So just soaking up all that knowledge and then molding it to fit me and my personality, and now it's my time to go do it.
How will this partnership between you and Mickey work out exactly?
Yeah, it's great. We have a great relationship. We've worked well in the past. There's nobody in this building that I respect as much as Coach Khan. You know, we're neighbors. He came over and stopped and got wings that I grilled out last night. You know, he's one of the most respected people in this building, and we have a great relationship. We see things very similar, but also just being able to bounce ideas off of him, and at the end of the day, coming together on one common solution and going out and teaching it. So it's been great so far.
Can you describe what are some early differences between what Coach Venables was running and what you plan to do?
You know, just schematically, what you guys will see from afar, it's going to look the same. So nothing will change. From that standpoint, obviously, you want to mold your defense to what your personnel and what your strengths are, and then obviously what you're trying to take away from opponents each week. So from a big picture, 100-foot point of view, I don't think anything will change from you guys. Hopefully we execute and play with great technique and fundamentals. That's what I feel like separates you and makes you an elite defense. So from what you guys will see, it'll be very similar.
Can you give me an idea as to how freakishly talented this defensive line you have?
Yeah, I mean, all those guys have great athletic ability, but I feel like the character is what separates them, their work ethic, the camaraderie, the chemistry, the buy-in, the leadership. They've had tremendous summers. Just, it's been cool. They've all been coming in, working out extra, just all the stuff off the field is what separates them, I think. Obviously, they're really talented, but just the intangibles off the field, their knowledge, work ethic, and all of that. So I feel like that's what separates them.
Brian specifically, what stands out about him? What are you excited about when it comes to coaching him?
Yeah, obviously, just him getting back healthy, and I mean, he's a freaky talent. Got tremendous size, athleticism. He's got it all. So just be cool to see him get back out there and get in the mix.
What's the craziest thing you've seen him do on a football field? In practice, in game, the thing that really you think about?
I mean, nothing, just not one play just jumps out, but just every day, just seeing him going out there and performing at an elite level is really cool to see.
Sorry, with the injuries you had on the defensive line last year, how much different can it be this season if you can have a full complement and be able to rotate those guys?
Yeah, for sure. Depth is really key to long-term success. Being able to play 2 and 3 deep, and just being able to keep guys fresh and going out there and playing X number of snaps, but being able to play at 100% versus playing X number of snaps and a couple of them you're not at your full ability. Being able to keep guys fresh and rolling at 2 and 3 deep will be
What's the next
very key.
step that Bentley needs to take, in your opinion?
Yeah, I mean, just he's had a great off season. He's trimmed down. He looks great. He's worked on his flexibility. A great summer in the weight room. He's put in time in the film room, just gaining more knowledge, and just continue to gain experience and going out and doing it. I feel like it's key. But he's had an unbelievable summer.
You mentioned a couple of guys to slow down. Among them would be Bentley and
Yeah, I mean, Trenton looks great. Barrett Carr, I mean, all those guys have been putting in work, and they all look really good.
What have you learned about yourself as a leader so far since you've become the defensive coordinator?
Yeah, I mean,
dealing with that.
Definitely. The biggest adjustment has been just dealing with all the media and outside forces. I feel most comfortable when I'm up in the room teaching our defense, out on the practice field. So just, the big picture management. I've always been a big picture thinker. I feel like organizationally, I feel like I'm really good. It's one of my strengths. So I know what I want to do at 10 a.m. on a Monday morning. This is how we're going to game plan. But just dealing with the big picture and outside of these walls has been the biggest adjustment for me.
You had a really good memory from over here. You agree with that description? And if so, where do you think that comes from? Has that always been a thing for you, kind of the ability to
Yeah, I think
recall
so.
stuff from 10 years ago? I think someone was mentioning.
Yeah, definitely. So.
I guess how much of an adjustment is running then? Just talking to 17-year-olds trying to convince them.
Yeah, I mean, that's obviously been a little bit of adjustment, but at the end of the day, it's about relationships, being able to connect with people, So, you know, being in college athletics for, I guess, 19 years now. So you know, it doesn't matter if you're in a support staff role or defensive coordinator. At the end of the day, if you can connect and build relationships with guys and build their trust, then at the end of the day, you know, it's a win-win on both sides.
And just explain who you are and your background and what you've done just because you are so this role.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's every day. So just being able to sell what you've done. But the biggest thing is our players have done a tremendous job of selling this program, as well as obviously Coach Swinney's built this into an unbelievable program. You know, the foundation over the years, you know, Clemson sells itself.
Outside of Coach Venables, who are some mentors or maybe DCs that you've looked up to, NFL level, college level, but maybe?
Yeah, I mean, I got my start under Ellis Johnson, who's a longtime coordinator in the SEC, ACC, been around forever. He's one of the, I learned so much from him just starting out. After him, you know, BV here in the NFL, James Betcher was our defensive coordinator. You know, we were really good defensively at Arizona. We were top 5, I think, all 3 years. So just everywhere I've been, I've tried to just soak up knowledge from whoever and take and apply it.
It was a great debut for you in the bowl game. Do you feel any pressure to try to match what Coach Venables did, or does the amount of talent that you have playing for you kind of mitigate that?
No, not at all. My expectations for myself are greater than anybody or anyone can put on myself. So I'm just going to be who I am, and at the end of the day, I can live with that. So I'm not going to try to be someone else or live up to anything else. At the end of the day, we all have a common purpose, and you know, I just want to go be myself.
Wes, do you have a number one guy at that linebacker spot going into camp?
No, I mean, I'll still list all those guys as co, and we'll see how it all sorts out.
How do those guys, their skill sets, how do they work at that position? What do they bring to that position?
Yeah, I think they're all have a good athletic skill set for the linebacker position in today's world. They have great knowledge. Just need to continue to get that experience. But I feel like all those guys tackle well. They see things fast. They react fast. They have great leadership and communication skills on the field. So just now their turn to go do it.
What about Trent Simpson? Makes you excited to coach him?
Yeah, I mean, he's a freaky athlete for sure. 6'3", 235 pounds, and he can cover like a safety, but he can blitz like a DN. So, I mean, just having him, being able to move him around in different spots and utilizing what he does best would be really fun for sure.
How does that versatility play into what you want to do on defense? I know Garrett Carter's another guy who can play in multiple spots.
Yeah, definitely. You know, the more versatility, always think about it in an NFL mindset. You know, the more versatility you have, the more valuable you are, especially in today's world where it's a space game. But just being able to cover, blitz, play in the box, play on the edge, you know, from a schematic standpoint, being able to utilize their skill sets, take away what the offense is giving you, but also making opponents waste their week of preparation for what they're going to see on Saturday. So just being able to do multiple things and always staying aggressive.
I know you said this could be one of the fastest linebacker groups you've had, but just second and third level kind of pull back. Do you feel like it's going to be one of the speedier groups that you've had?
Yeah, for sure. You know, safeties, I think we have great experience back there. A lot of guys who have played over the years at a high level. Our corners are young but really talented, and you know, I'm excited to see them get out there on the grass for sure.
Sort of piggybacking off of that with the athleticism and speed of linebackers, how is it different, like maybe in today's world when you're recruiting a linebacker versus what you might have been looking for 10 years ago?
Yeah, for sure. I think guys probably back in the day, you're taking on fullbacks, you know, taking on guards. So you're probably more like in the 240 to 250 range. I mean, and now more like 225 to 230. So just, obviously from a size standpoint, smaller, faster, better short area quickness. And especially if you can have big guys up front that are keeping the linemen off of you. Your tackles are more on the edge anyway, so being able to run, being able to match up and play man on running backs, tight ends, those things have kind of changed. And 10 years, or whenever I started in 2006 in college football, offenses were 2 back or 2 tight end. Now it's like an 85%, probably 3 receiver sets. So just the changing game.
About going to the beach, you guys what beach was it? And are you somebody that can actually separate from football, or are you thinking about the plays while you're sitting on the beach?
I think I do a great job of leaving work here. We went to Hawaii for 2 weeks. We did 3 islands over there, and then we went to Gulf Shores with my side of the family. So did 6 days with my in-laws in Hawaii. Then we stayed another week, just me and my girls, and then 4 days at Gulf Shores with my side of the family.
So like no plays on napkins.
So yeah, definitely that. So
how's this transition been for your family? Not just you, but the elevation in stature for you. How has that affected the family, good or bad?
It's been good. My wife is she likes staying out of the limelight, so that's kind of been an adjustment for her. But it's been really good. Obviously, this has been a lifelong goal of mine, and so she knew what she was getting into, and it's been really fun.
What's the best thing you learned from Coach Sweeney so far, would you say? Or just one thing maybe that stands out?
Yeah, Coach Sweeney, he's one of the most genuine, humble guys, good as gold, unbelievable leader, has great vision. He's a dreamer like myself, we could spend an hour just talking about the great things that he is. Great Christian man, great father, great husband. He's a great example. For me as a younger man, every day just coming in, just it pours into the players and staff, and I just soak it all in. I'm so thankful to be at a place like Clemson and work for Coach Sweeney, and it's definitely a blessing.
Coach, how do you carry that momentum after? So Clemson fans got to see a preview of what your defense is going to be like against Iowa State. How do you carry that momentum to the offseason and do what you do to start the new year with all camp?
Yeah, going into spring, my goal was to get better every day, and obviously when we start back day one of training camp, you hope to pick up somewhere where you ended spring and then carry on from there. But I want to see us get better every day, be really technique and fundamentally sound. I believe going in and installing schemes is easy, but when things get tight, the margin of error gets small, technique and fundamentals ultimately separate you at the end of the day. So just hopefully, picking up somewhat where we left off at the end of spring and then taking a step forward every day. That's my goal.
You mentioned you have young quarterbacks this year. Anybody that stood out to you so far who stepped up?
Yeah, obviously Nate Wiggins is ultra talented, so just seeing him put it together. Sheridan Jones, now it's his opportunity to go shine. Those freshmen coming in, I think all of those guys showed this spring, that they have what it takes. Now they just need to refine their technique, get better every day. Am I leaving someone out? Malcolm Green, getting him back healthy. Fred Davis, getting him back going. All those guys have all the ability to go do it. Now they just need to stay healthy, get back healthy, gain that experience, and go do it.
How you feeling about your overall this year?
Yeah, I feel really good. I feel like we for sure have at least a 2 deep, and I think even some of our third team guys will have the opportunity to get on the field. They've shown the ability to earn trust and accountability with the staff. So I feel like we're as deep of a defense as I've been around in a while. We just have to stay healthy, dodge the injury bug, and all that.
Sergio Allen, is he healthy?
Yeah, he is. He should be cleared and ready to go for fall camp. He's Mike. Yeah. But actually, for me, Mike and Will, you know, if you learn one, you kind of learn the other. So being able to dual train guys as well. So you might see guys in different spots as well. Anyone else?
I'm done, man. I already drilled you enough.
Sounds good.
If you're ready to go, you go. I don't think this guy's in here.
You gotta go.
He said nobody's asking
Y'all
no
good?
questions. All right.
Whatever you need, I'm here for you guys.
That's what he said. And I didn't coerce him or nothing. I mean, we were just somebody else asking him a question. He said, yeah, he's right.